We're excited to be playing our first home game this week. We're playing a very good team in Jacksonville State. They are very talented, more talented than some Division I teams. They've got some transfers that definitely can flat out play. They've got a coaching staff that I'm very impressed with. Their co-DC, Brandon Hall, was actually a coach that coached with me at safeties at Arkansas State, and he was also an off-the-field guy here in 2013. Their head coach, Coach Gross, is a very good coach. He actually coached Rock Thomas at Oxford High when he was there. This is a quality opponent, and our focus is on getting better, and our guys can turn on the film and see that we're going to have our hands full.
Questions?
Tyler Queen have surgery?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. In fact, it was something that's kind of been bothering him during fall camp with his elbow, and we just felt strong that we need to go ahead and get that procedure done, get him back for spring. Jonathan Wallace will be the guy that will step up and play a little more quarterback, kind of like we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Tommy John surgery?
It's similar.
Guys, you've never had, well, I shouldn't say never. The last time you had a quarterback throw 3 interceptions was David Johnson in 08. Just what was your takeaway? Obviously, Jeremy looked like he was pressing, but that was a rough performance historically for a quarterback.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I mean, Jeremy early on made some decisions that he'd like to have back, but he'll correct them. Dave Johnson ended up having a super career, and really feel strong that Jeremy will do the same thing. I know he's ready to get back on that practice field and get better and get ready for this Saturday.
Was he trying to? I mean, all the attention and everything that Heisman talked. Was he trying too hard? Maybe pressing.
I think he was definitely trying to make some plays down the field early. Which is to be expected now. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that do that, and just let it come within the offense, and he'll do that. I mean, we still have just as much or more confidence in Jeremy Johnson we did before the game. And the great thing about Jeremy is he'll learn from his mistakes, and he'll get better.
Coach, Jeremy was obviously, understandably, a little frustrated after that game. Have you really said much to him since then, or do you feel that he's had the proper perspective on that?
Well, the thing about Jeremy, he's a great competitor, and he's extremely tough on himself. And I think the special quarterbacks that I've been fortunate enough to be around, they were the same way. And, he's ready to get back on the practice field and ready to get back out there Saturday and improve. And that's the mindset you have to have, and not just quarterback, but all positions.
Gus, the guys that are hurt, do you anticipate getting in?
Yeah, we're expecting everybody to play. I mean, this is it's a quality opponent. We need to get better, and there's no talk about our next opponent at LSU or anything. I mean, we're worried about Jacksonville State, and we're expecting everybody to play, and we need to get ready.
Coach, why did Josh Folsey not get in on defense?
He was a little banged up. But he'll be back out there today, ready to go, and I believe you'll see him on the field on Saturday.
Talk about the defensive front. You know better than most of us that it takes more than 4, and looks like you're pretty solid 2 deep there. Just talk about the way that they looked when you saw them.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. They disrupted things. Even in the second half, they disrupted things. We just lost contain on that young quarterback, and he was electric. Coach Muschamp really wants to develop that depth early, and he really believes in playing those younger guys and do nothing but help us, in the future as the season goes on, because you need depth up front.
Are mobile quarterbacks a concern for you guys going forward after that game?
Well, that mobile quarterback was. I mean, he was electric. I mean, and the thing about it, you go into that game and there's a possibility of 3 different quarterbacks playing. That's a true freshman. They had a few new wrinkles for him, and he played, and we lost contain a couple times. And when you play mobile quarterbacks, you just got to contain them, keep them in that pocket, and try to make them beat you with their arm. But give them credit, and he did a good job, and he got out of contain, and he made some plays with his feet, late in the game.
Was there a noticeable difference to you when Carl Lawson was not on the field?
Well, like we said before, I mean, he's an impact player. When he doesn't make the play, he helps other people make the play. And, when there's elite players, when they're not on the field, things are different. But other people need to step up, and there's no doubt in our minds that that'll happen. And it did at times, even Saturday.
Gus, how much did you learn about your team from the first game?
Yeah, we learned a lot. That's what our staff talked about in all three phases. We learned a lot about not only our team, we learned about some individuals. We learned a whole lot about the young guys, because, young guys, you never know how they're going to react until you get out there in the game. And so we feel very good about our team moving forward. I think everybody saw the freshmen and the new faces that actually played for the first time wearing an Auburn uniform. And it's encouraging from the standpoint that we did some good things, and the things that we need to improve on, we feel like are all correctable, and we feel like that, they can all be corrected and we can get better.
Gus, besides quarterback play, what are the 2 or 3 big things you want to improve on?
Well, up front, when you got those new faces, just the communication, getting used to working together. There's nothing better than experience, with new centers, new guards, your rotating guards, and then the tackle guard communication. That'll get better throughout the year, and just the little things probably in all positions, just improving.
Another touch. Go ahead, Jen.
When you have 5 holding calls, 4 that stick up, and 1 takes away that big touchdown, just what was your takeaway of having 4 different linemen called for?
Yeah, when you look at it, it was some communication issues that really caused our problem. We overslid a couple times right there. They were counting on the guy inside of them. So all those things are correctable, and that's kind of what I was saying about the communication. And there's nothing better than getting a guy beside you, and you know how he's going to react on certain things in that experience. And so that'll definitely help us, because I think 3 of them, those holding penalties, were very similar to that type of miscommunication.
Gus, is there hope that? Go ahead. Is there hope? I thought he was continuing. Sorry. Jason Smith, he had an explosive play, like James said, it was called back. Do you see more of that happening for him getting that opportunity?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he's electric, and when he's got the ball in his hands, he can really do something. And I think, he made an unbelievable route, at the top of the route, leaned it, just kept running through the football. And he is a guy that's getting more and more comfortable in the offense. And so definitely we'll see more Jason Smith, each game.
Will you consider moving him to quarterback at all if you get
we may have a package for him. I mean, he's comfortable there, but it's kind of that balance that we would like his role to be bigger, in the receiver position. So it's kind of that balance that you just got to figure out, what is best to do. But as the season goes on, he gives you a lot of flexibility.
Will Jonathan be more quarterback than receiver now?
Now that we're making this call, it's going to be a little more quarterback than receiver, but he's still going to help us at receiver.
Because with this left guard rotation, I know we've heard that you guys are playing going into each game, but how much at all is it based on field during the game? You go talk to JVs, and what are you seeing?
Yeah, leading up to the game, they were both a little banged up in fall camp, having a little issues, and so we let them both share the reps. Both of them deserve to play, like we talked about, and then you get to see them in a game, and that usually helps. But both of them did a solid job, and so we'll continue to do that a little longer.
Guess you anticipate Peyton Barber's confidence kind of skyrocketing after Saturday, and maybe
I think it's got to. There's nothing like going out there and doing it, and you're doing it, and you do it good. That gives you confidence. And he's not a very experienced player, so my experience is that those guys will really kind of raise their level, and really I think we'll even see that in practice today.
the text message on Thursday night was part of his personality, or was that a...
Yeah, just Thursday I think he made one alignment problem on Thursday during practice, and it was just on his mind. And he's tough on himself, and like we said with Jeremy, the guys that are tough on themselves, they got a chance to be really good. And it was just one of those things. Hey, I won't make the same mistake. I'll be ready Saturday, and to say there's no doubt you're definitely ready, and he was.
Will he start this Saturday?
We'll see. I mean, we're not ready to say say that right now, but he's in a very good spot.
What did you see out of Montravius Adams, and what would you like to see?
Well, I think Montravius had his best overall game since he's been here. Played quite a few snaps. He played extremely hard. He was very, very disruptive. I mean, he's the one that caused the fumble that got picked up for 6 points, and you know, he put a lot of pressure in the quarterback's face on the passing downs, and of course in the run game he was very good. But he took that next step, you know, and Coach Muschamp really was challenging him, and Coach Garner challenged him just to take that next step about being an elite player and playing with unbelievable effort and intensity, and he took that to heart.
Duke was spending more of the time back at the Y position as opposed to the X.
Say that.
Duke was spending more of his time at the inside Y position as opposed to the X. Is that just a matchup situation? Are you going to play him more?
You know, he'll have a chance to play both. He knows both. And the great thing about the seniors that we have, we can move those three around, and they're able to execute our offense.
Do you expect to play all three running backs?
What's that?
Do you expect to play all three running backs Saturday?
Yes, possibly 4.
Do you want to get Carry-On more involved in a game like this before you go to the SEC?
We want to get Carry-On involved regardless, you know. Last week he was a little bit, banged up. It wasn't completely 100%, but we expect him to be this week.
When you look around the league, there's a lot of new or inexperienced quarterbacks, and a lot of them can turn to star tailbacks for 20, 30 carries. How much strength is their tailback in this league, and depth?
You talking about for us? You talking about other teams?
For the league wide, but also for Auburn. Seems like there's a lot.
I'm thinking about Jacksonville State. I couldn't really. There's probably a lot of depth in SEC, but as far as us, you can't have enough depth with what we do at running back. And playing 3, and like we said, like to play 4 tailbacks. I think that's very good, because like I said, we got 2 of them banged up Saturday, and so you can't have enough depth at tailback.
What did you make of the play special teams the whole on Saturday?
I was encouraged with the special teams. We had a lot of true freshmen running around out there, and you saw their talent level. And I really feel like just from a talent standpoint, I think we're in better shape than we were, last year from a talent standpoint. Now, execution, we made some mistakes, but we'll have a chance to be good on special teams. I really feel that way.
What did you think about Marcus Davis specifically? He only got 1 return, but he at least secured it and didn't.
Yeah, and then he came up and caught the one in traffic. I thought he made a good decision on the one to get away, and his communication was very good. So I thought Marcus Davis did a very good job.
Coach, you talked about throughout fall camp preparing for the big video board. Exactly how does that look? How do you prepare for something like that?
Well, we went over there 3 times so far, and the first time we just had it on, still shot. The second time we had it where it was the actual game deal, and I think the third time we had some sound on. So you just get used to it, and the first time it's a factor. There's no doubt it's a factor.
You go over there this week, Gus.
What's that?
You go over there at least once this week.
I don't know. We hadn't got that far. If we do, it'll be Thursday. We've been over there 3 times.
Coach, you guys have talked, you played other in-state programs before that are much smaller and look up to the Auburn-type program. Just talk about that when you got JSU, you played Sanford, you got A&M later, and ASU in the future.
Yeah, I think it's always good to play in-state opponents. The thing about this group, they were 10-2 last year. They lost to Michigan State, and they lost in the quarterfinals. This isn't your average 1AA team. This is one of the best 1AA teams in college football. And like I said, they got some transfers from Division I. Matter of fact, they got 2 guys that has been here before, Devontae Sigler and Chris Lander, both fine young men, both very good players. So, we're not going to take them lightly, and they deserve that respect. And I wouldn't be surprised if this group ends up winning the 1AA championship anyway.
John Gross having so much success at the high school level in this state, you having your success. What carries over? What can you speak to? What carries over?
John Gross is an excellent coach, and his track record speaks for itself. And he's got that program you know, at the top of their division as far as playing. He's got talent. He's recruited extremely well. Got a very good defensive staff, a very good offensive staff. I mean, he's got it going on.
You said last night that on your radio show that Peyton Barber got stronger as the game went on.
Yeah.
How much does that go into influencing your decision when you go into SEC play to have a guy you lean on?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing like knowing how they're going to react. You know, the thing that I was encouraged about is he never looked the sideline wanting to come out, tap his shoulder, tap his hat, whatever to come out. He was wanting to play. And I think that's important, especially with what we do. And he carried it 20-plus times. And those were hard yards, some of them, you know, and so that was encouraging.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.